This is a bloodworm. It is placed in a droplet of water under the microscope. It is also surrounded by grains of sediment. Let's see what it does. Initially, the bloodworm doesn't actually do much. It just keeps wriggling around and disturbing the sediment around it. This video is a time-lapse. It is sped up 4 times. Fun fact, bloodworms aren't actually worms. Instead, they are the larvae of a midge fly. They undergo a process known as metamorphosis. After that, they become adults. This is what an adult midge fly looks like. The bloodworm is beginning to do something interesting. It is gathering the sediment in one place, as if it wants to build something. It is slowly adding more and more sediment to this sediment clump. By now, the body of the larva is completely covered in sediment. The reason the colors just changed is because I turned off the top light and turned on the bottom light, because the lights of this microscope are halogen lights, and leaving one light on for too long could lead to overheating. By now, it is clear that the midge larva wants to build something, as it arranges the sediment in the shape of a hollow tube. The larva is now inside the tube, sticking its head out to make what seems to be an entrance, but the other side is still rather messy. The larva continues sticking its head out of the tube and grabbing sediments from the sides of it, to add it to the entrance. By the way, this larva came from a sample from the bottom of a freshwater body. This freshwater body was relatively still, making it a perfect habitat for midge larvae. Samples from this freshwater body contain a large amount of midge larvae. Midge larvae serve as a significant food source for many organisms, including fish, predatory insect larvae, and hydras. So, they build tubes out of sediment to protect themselves. They use these tubes as a place to hide from predators. By now, the midge is done building this side of the tube, but the other side remains very messy. So to fix the other side, the midge enters the tube with its head. It crawls through the tube until its head is on the other side of the tube. Its tail is now positioned on the organized side of the tube. Fun fact, bloodworms are red because of the high concentration of hemoglobin in their body. Let's speed things up a bit. Now the video is sped up 6 times instead of 4. The bloodworm is currently working on fixing the messy side of the tube, which will be the new entrance. The hemoglobin in a bloodworm's body, which was mentioned earlier, has the same function as hemoglobin in the human body. It stores oxygen, which is vital for the bloodworm's metabolism. This allows bloodworms to live in low oxygen environments, like the bottoms of freshwater bodies. We can now clearly see that the tube is far more organized than before. Fun fact, midges spend most of their lives as larvae. While they can spend over a month in their larval stage, adults only live for around 1 week, but these numbers vary depending on the species. The time spent as larvae is also influenced by temperature. Now with the other side organized, the larva focuses its effort on building a new entrance. Bloodworms can secrete a sticky substance from their mouth. They use this substance to bind together sediment to make these tubes. In some environments with a high amount of bloodworms, the bloodworms actually build enough tubes to alter the surface of the sediment in the bottom of the freshwater body. By now, the bloodworm is basically done building the tube. All what's left are minor changes to the entrance and the sides of the tube. Midges belong to a suborder of flies known as Nematocera, which includes other elongated flies such as mosquitoes. By now, the tube is basically complete. This tube, which started out as a bunch of scattered sediment, took around 37 minutes to construct in total. I collected the sample which contains this midge larva and 4 other freshwater samples a while ago, and I made a video documenting what I found. This video will show up on the screen right now if you want to watch it.